Hey there, Fit Fam. Welcome to the only podcast where we're breaking the mold and rewriting the rules. I'm here to debunk the myths, spill the tea, and serve a hefty dose of reality. No matter where you're at in your journey, we've got something for everybody. So buckle up because we're about to unleash the basics in the most unapologetic way possible. From shedding pounds to embracing your inner badass, I'm here to remind you that skinny is so last season and the basics are anything but boring. So grab your favorite piece of protein and your water bottle and get ready to be empowered, entertained, and educated because being a basics bitch has never looked this good. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Don't Call Me Skinny. Thanks for joining today. Big week this week, just real busy. Daughter's last huge league meet is not this afternoon, but this week, end of the week, Thursday, Friday. So really looking forward to that. Excited for her, see where she's going, see how she's gonna do and finish for the season. Really excited and proud of her, all the hard work she puts in just to turn around and have my son do the same thing. Yay, very exciting. Not really sometimes. A lot of work on the parent side. But anyways, okay. So hopefully everybody is taking a breath. I have no idea what the outcome of this election is. I'm not getting political at all, but just saying, just whatever the outcome was, take a breath. Hopefully by the time you hear this, you should know, because I hope it's not lasting 65 extra days like it did last time, whatever. But just breathe. Even if it's not the outcome we wanted, it's totally fine. Even if it's not the outcome I wanted, it's totally fine. We're all going to be okay. Stay in control of what you can control. All right. So today we are talking, on Friday, last week I was talking about ripping off this Band-Aid, and I'm going to start hammering this a little bit more. So I'm going to be doing, a lot of the things I'm going to be talking about here are going to have to do a lot with your time-based, excuse. I'm just going to say it like it is. Your time-based excuse, the reason why you don't have time. I never have time. I never have time. I never have time. And this came up actually on my group coaching call last night with a one-on-one client who was joining us. And I wanted to chat about it here because I think that a lot of you fall into this trap. We fall into the trap that we can put our health on pause. It's like, I just want to wait for a second. Okay. I can breathe now. Okay. My health is on pause. All right. And not understanding that our health doesn't pause. What we should be doing for our health shouldn't pause. The things that we need to be doing don't pause. And the reason why you are in the place that you are in is because you continuously put your health on pause. It is not a mixed CD or tape. It is not a movie that you can just hit the pause button and come back to. When you pause your health, let's talk about that. When you pause your health and you hit the boop button, like if I were to hit pause right now, you could pause me right now, okay? When I come back, I'm going to be exactly in the same place that I start, like that you left me, right? If you hit the pause button on this episode at, where are we at here? 3 minutes and however many seconds into this recording, you're going to come back and you're going to pick up at 3 minutes, whatever seconds that you left off. Your health doesn't work that way. It just does not work that way, okay? Your health is not something you can put the pause button on. When you come back to your health, most people, majority of women specifically, are in a worse situation when they hit the pause button. It's like, oh, I don't have time for that. I'm way too busy. I got to hit the pause button. And when you come back, you're like, shit. Oh, that was not a good idea. I probably should not have done that. I should not have paused. Should not have paused. Woo-hoo. This was me for 32 years, right? This is how I was for 32 freaking years, nonstop. Put the pause on. I'm too busy. I'm too this. I don't have time. I'm so busy. I don't have time for my health. And I did. I just did not prioritize my time appropriately. Okay. And I want to talk about what happened and what came up on this client call to shift the perspective a little bit. So I have a client who's going on a cruise. She's going to Hawaii. Very lucky. Never been there. Love to go. And she had sent me a message the other day because she said, yeah, I think I need to put this on pause for the month of November. Oh, that's interesting. Number one, I don't pause. We don't pause. Number one, if you sign up with me, you're in. You're not pausing. We don't do that here. It would have to be some egregious reason. And even still, I support typically through the big, heavy life that happens. So it doesn't typically happen. But here we go. She wanted to put on pause. And I said, oh, well, why? Well, I'm not going to be able to do my check-ins and I'm not going to be able to weigh in. And, I'm not even going to be thinking about what I'm supposed to be doing and all these things. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, can I ask you a question? What are we doing minus those 10 days that you're going to be gone for the other 20 remainder days that are in the month? What are you doing for those days if you're pausing? Are you pausing just for 10 days? Like I'm confused. Like what's happening there? Like it doesn't make sense. What are you doing the rest of the month? And she was like, oh, well, right. Exactly. What are you doing the rest of the month? Right? So everybody's too busy right now. I said this on Friday. Everybody's so busy. They're so busy. They're traveling. Their school's picked up. I don't even know. I don't know what people are so busy doing. Like legitimately, I'm so confused what people are so busy doing that they don't have time to drink water and, cook ground turkey so that they have some sort of meal for the week or something. I don't know. Literally, it takes 22 minutes to do. But we're so busy. We are so busy. What are we so fucking busy doing? I'd like to know. If somebody could let me know, okay? I'm busy too. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have 3 children, 2 who are very actively involved. The third one just ended football. I run my own business. My husband works dumb shit hours. I used to be here and run a business and have 3 kids all on my own, cleaning the house, doing all the things. I was busy. I'm still busy. I feel like I don't stop. I have 2 dogs I have to take care of all the time. Got to walk them, got to feed them, got to take care of them, got to love them, got to play with them. Okay. I have a family, like a big family that we typically do Sunday family dinners. Okay. I'm busy too. I understand. Life is busy. It's crazy right now. We all feel it, right? But those moments that we feel so overwhelmed and so busy, it's because we start focusing our energy on all the time that we don't have. I don't have time for that. I can't do this. I don't have time to go on a walk. I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to eat a normal fucking meal. I don't have time to deal with this. I don't have time to deal with that. I don't have this time. I don't have time for that. I don't have time to join your program. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time for any of that. I don't have time to track my food. I don't have time to sit and breathe for 3.5 minutes. I don't have time. 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 Cool. Outside of the moments that we don't have time and you do have time, what the fuck are you doing with it? What are you doing with that time? I'm curious. So just like my client, well, you want to pause for these 10 days that you're going to be gone because you can't check in, which is fine. We don't check in. We don't weigh in when we're on vacation. We don't check in when we're on vacation. We don't track our food if we don't want to when we're on vacation. Like these are normal things, right? This happens. I've had clients that travel to and from Europe. She still managed to be coached. I have clients that are busy as shit, run their own business, work up in high executive, high stress, with grandchildren positions. They still have time to be coached. They still figure out how to make it in, right? What are you doing when you do have time? Are you so busy that when you do have time, you doom scroll? Are you so busy actually spending your time overthinking this entire process and making it way more fucking complicated than it needs to be? Because then you don't have to do anything for it, because that makes sense. That's what feels good. Another client called the check-in this week was like, she's like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Like, this is boring. Like, I've had to talk myself off the ledge here because I'm bored. This is getting boring. Yes, it is. Our health is not exciting, guys. It's not fun. It's not. None of these things are fun to do. Drinking water is not fucking fun. Eating your protein isn't fucking fun. Going on a walk can be fun. Most often than not always fun. This is all like, you are so like, well, it's not the right time. I'm too busy. I'm traveling. It's not the right time. It's just, like, with the kids, it's just so much right now. Somebody asked me what the commitment to my group program was because she's so busy right now with work. Okay. What do you do when you're not busy? What are you doing then? Are you literally busy 24/7? Like you don't do anything for yourself? You don't go to networking events. You don't go to, I don't know, brunch, breakfast, lunch, dinner with friends and do like these are important pieces. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling people not to go out for breakfast or not to go out for lunch or not to spend time with your friends and your family and things like that. But I feel like a lot of times we, again, focus on like, I don't have time for that. Let me tell you this fun story about myself. At 250 pounds, I thought I didn't have time. At 250 pounds, I was a mom of 3, 2 of whom were in full-time school. I had a 3.5, 4-year-old at home. He was about 3.5, 4 years old. And he didn't start going to, like, I think he went to 2 days a week preschool. He was 3, and then 4-day a week preschool when he was 4, and whatnot. Cool. Guess what? I found a gym that had childcare because I would use that as an excuse that I didn't have time, that I couldn't go because I have to do this thing over here. I have a kid. I can't go. I got a kid. Yeah. I'd use that as an excuse. So it's a lot less about having the time. You want to know what I did on the days? Laundry. I'd watch Gilmore Girls. I'd clean. But I also felt like I had no time. I was so busy. I had no time. I was so busy. I had no time. I was so busy. And don't get me wrong, our kids were involved in things that back then, soccer, the little rec league soccer, they had rec league, shit like that. Nothing crazy, but like they were still involved and I was busy. I was so busy. But guess what? Lost 80 pounds, maintained it. You want to know this fun fact? I was still fucking busy. And in fact, if I had to guess, I was more fucking busy when I was 80 pounds down than I ever was when I was 250 pounds and I had no time. And what was the difference? How was I so less busy at 250 pounds, but claimed I was so busy versus losing 80 pounds? And somehow I was absolutely way more busy because I was running my own business. My husband was gone. I was taking care of 3 kids. They were more involved now. They were on a swim team. Like all these things were happening. I was constantly driving to and from swim practice and all sorts of stuff. I had to cut the lawn. I was in charge of our pool during the summer. I was the cleaning lady. I did it all. And yet somehow I still had time to take care of my health. What was the difference? What changed? How was that different? Well, guess what? I started focusing on the priority of my health. I started saying no to things that did not serve my health. And it's amazing when you start doing those things, how much time you fucking have. It's kind of bizarre, actually. And how much actual time that frees up. And when you realize that the process of getting your health in check doesn't take as much as what you think it does, or it doesn't have to be as extreme as what you think it does, man, that frees up a lot of motherfucking capacity for you. And then all of a sudden, you don't feel as busy, and it doesn't feel as hard, and it doesn't feel as heavy, and it doesn't feel like you want to just crawl in a hole. Because you are starting to focus your time and your energy on where and what is going to serve you. Do you want to know why I felt so busy at 250 pounds? I felt literally like I was carrying all of my weight all of the time. And it wasn't just physical weight. It was emotional weight. It was baggage. It was all sorts of stuff. And I carried it with me everywhere I went. And everything felt harder and everything felt heavier. Literally, physically, mentally, emotionally, it all felt heavier. And the more and more I went through this process, I realized, damn, I'm holding on to a lot of shit that is taking up a lot of my capacity to give a shit about myself. I need to let some of that go. Literally, when I shit you not, the weight came off. That was also a lot of baggage that went with it. A lot of emotional baggage that went with it. A lot of mental baggage that went with it. That I had held to for years and years and years. Because those things I was holding on to dear life because it was always my story. It always was, I'll never be different. This is just who I am. I can never change because I never have before. So it was my story. So who was I without that baggage? Who was I without that story? Well, found out. And man, does she have a lot more fucking time than I ever thought. Wow. And man, does she love her life a lot more than I ever thought possible. All because she started focusing her time into spaces and into things that served her versus not, right? So as I'm talking with this client last night, you know, and this is a client that has struggled with tracking her food and things like that. And she has struggled with these things. And she's worried about these 10 days, these isolated 10 days. And I said, what happened to all of October? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, I was busy. Yeah. Okay, what about September? What happened to September? Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. Like, I get what you're saying. I said, do you though? Because you're solely focused on these 10 days that you feel like you need to pause coaching, which you can't do, that you feel like you need to pause coaching instead of worried about all the other days that you have just let go by. You're worried about 10 days that you're literally are the 10 days that you should be living your life, that you should not worried about tracking your food, that you should not be worried about getting on a scale, that you should not be worried about checking in. And what happens to all the other days that you weren't worried about those things, that you had the opportunity to do those things and you did not? That was a choice. Not because you were in Hawaii, but because you were too busy. Because you had a lot of things going on, because you just didn't feel like it. Oof. That's a harsh reality, right? And, you know, through all of those things that we talk about, you know, it is hard to hear that. Well, what happened to October? Well, what happened to September? What about the last fucking 10 months? Where did you show up for yourself then, minus these 10 days that you're not actually supposed to fucking worry about it? Because those 10 days, if you were to look at those 10 days out of the whole of 20, right? I always go back to 80%, right? 80% of 30 days is literally 24 days. So I said, you're going to be gone for 10 days. 6 days is still 20%. I said, 10 days out of the month is literally 30% of the month. What's happening to the 70% of the month? What are you doing the rest of those days? I said, what'd you do November 1st? What'd you do November 2nd? What'd you do November 3rd? Yeah, about that. Yeah, exactly. But you're so fucking focused on the time that you don't have, on the time that you're not going to be able to check in, which you shouldn't be worried about. And that's where we're focusing our energy. You see that spot, and you're like, ooh, I can't, I got to pause because I'm going to be busy, Well, what about all the other fucking days that you're not traveling? What about all those other days? And that's where we're at, right? If you were to start focusing your time where it actually mattered, and I say that because so many of us are not putting our time and energy into where we can actually change something, where we can actually do something about it. We're focusing on our energy and the time that we don't have. We cannot put pause on our health. That's why I say, you guys feel like this is a choice. Like, let me just flip this on and off real fast. This is not how it works. We are supposed to be the annoying children in our homes that leave the fucking lights on in every goddamn room because they're fucking annoying and they don't know how to shut lights off. That is who we're supposed to be right now in our health journey. Your little children that leave all the fucking lights on in your home. That should be you, because you can't turn it off. You cannot hit pause, right? Again, you hit pause on this podcast, you're coming right back to it right where you left off. You're going to hear my annoying ass yelling at you. If you don't hit pause and you just keep playing, and it might look a little bit different, that's okay, because you're still going to be better off than where you left yourself. That's the reality. That's the truth. Too many of us are hitting pause, and the majority, you guys, there's a reason that like our obesity rate in this country is sky high. And I'm going to say this right now. It's not because all the additives in our food. It's not. It's because we are a bunch of people who don't know how to manage our emotions, that we use food to cope, and we have a poor relationship with ourselves and with food. That is why we have an obesity issue. And the more that you just try to keep hammering home and do and not give a shit about your health, you're going to fucking regret that at some point, at some time when you are forced. Because again, your health doesn't actually pause, guys. You pause your health doesn't pause. Your health keeps going, whether you're fucking paying attention or not. Your weight will go up, whether you're fucking paying attention or not. Your blood sugars will be shit, whether you're paying attention or not. You don't get to pause. You can pause, but your health doesn't pause. You get to pause, but your health is going to go whatever direction you're taking it, and you fucking lead the way. And if you're in the passenger seat and you're not fucking paying any attention to it, I can't imagine how you think it's going to be very good for you. I can't imagine how you think this is going to be well on the other end when you hit the play button again. You're going to be like, shit, fuck, why did I do that? So it's going to happen. Guess what's going to happen after that? You're going to feel guilt. You're going to feel ashamed. You're going to feel annoyed. You're going to feel frustrated. And you're going to say, oh, fucking well, why bother? This is why I don't bother to begin with, because I can't do it, because it's not for me. Same story I fucking told myself. It's not for me. It's for everybody else. Everybody else gets to be healthy. And well, in the moment, I just wanted to be skinny and little and all the things. And ooh. That's really what it was all about originally. It's just not for me. Oh, okay. It's a story I told myself to make myself feel better about doing nothing, because that's what I thought I needed. So where are you focusing your time? If you're telling me you're too busy and you can't join my group coaching container because you're just too busy and you don't know what the commitment level's like and you're just too busy and you're just so busy, cool. At some point, you're going to have to hit the play button on your health again. And I don't want to be the one that has to say, I told you so, but it's going to come out that way because it's the truth. And I don't want to be the person that said, I told you so. I want to be the person that helps you get to where you go. I want to be the person that helps you continue to play and be on play with your health, even when it's the busiest time of year. If you can do it in all the busy, you can do it anytime. And that's the goal. Okay. So Fat Loss Basics group coaching waitlist is open. If you want in, all you got to do is click the link in the show notes and get on that wait list. It's going to relaunch for January 6th. I will say, keep your eyes and ears open for Black Friday because, well, you're going to get a treat. So I hope you guys having a fantastic Wednesday. Again, breathe today if you just need to take a moment. Again, here we are with a capacity and, not taking 2.5 seconds to just sit with yourself for a minute. Like, it's okay to do that. Okay. On that note, you guys have a great hump day, because every day is a great day for a hump. Thanks so much for listening today. If you laughed, learned, or just felt the vibe, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Your support keeps this ass train chugging along. If you're ready to embrace the basics with a twist, follow me on social media. Links are in the show notes, and let's see the ways we can work together. All right, basics bitches, you're not just listeners, you're part of the revolution. Remember, skinny's out, basics are in, and you're looking damn good doing it. So until next time, stay basic.